Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to go watch the movie The Watcher. And the main reason I'm going to watch this movie is because basically I found out in the trailer that it's produced by M. Night Shyamalan, but also it's his daughter. I think it's pronounced Ishan Night Shyamalan. And I'm really curious on what kind of story she can tell. I wonder if she's going to take after her dad's vision and kind of sprinkle her own story telling aspect, or how's she going to do it. I'm curious to it. From the movie trailer, it seemed like she is getting a little bit of ideas from her dad. And also, too, I think she written and directed a couple episodes of one of my favorite shows off of Apple TV. It's The Servant. If you've not saw that, highly, highly recommend that show to you if you like it. M. Night Shyamalan fan like myself. So I'm really looking forward to this movie. Now, like I said, I've not watched it yet. I'm going to do kind of a general expectations of what I hope in this movie. So basically, what I'm hoping in this kind of movie is just a good movie. That's what I'm hoping for. With M. Night Shyamalan, now this is her. This is I can't. Ishan Shyamalan. So I'm not going to try to kind of hope for M. Night Shyamalan. I kind of want that, I'll be honest with you. But I'll hope for a different perspective, a different type of, kind of like that, but different spin on storytelling. Because that's what I want. Because M. Night Shyamalan is one of my favorites. How he does. Now, a lot of people have opinions about him that he kind of had his first and only hit with The Sixth Sense. I disagree with that. I always love his movies. There's a couple of movies I haven't watched, but the type of movie it was didn't capture my attention to watch it. But most of them that he's had, The Sixth Sense, of course, and you had the Unbreakable, and I can go on and on. But going in this movie, knowing it's not him, but he produced it, but it's his daughter. I'm curious, because she'd be the next, take his style to a different level. You know what I'm saying? So going in, of course, like most modern day movies, my expectation is very low, but I'm very interested in on what kind of story it is and how she will tell the story, if that makes sense. But we'll see, and I guess I'll go ahead and end this intro, and the next part you'll see my reaction and my opinion on the movie. All right, let's get into it.
And now, for our feature presentation.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and do this review. Alright, so first thing out of the gate, with M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, she did a fantastic job in this movie. How she told the story was a little bit, almost, you can see a little bit of style that she got inspiration from her father, but she made the movie her own. Now I don't know if it's just how I received the story from the movie. I saw a little bit of Signs. I saw a little bit of The Village. I saw a little bit at one point Lady in the Water, but that wasn't a bad thing. But she made it herself. There's a couple scenes, man, I really liked. It was well done. The shots, the cinematography, the angles, very, very well. She made me curious. She made me leaned into the story. There's not a lot going on at first. It's breadcrumbs, like most movies, especially in that Shyamalan style. But he has his own style, being more of an artsy kind of thing. She didn't lean into that. She done her own style, and I think it's great. I think it's needed, and I want that kind of thing. Something almost like it, but not exactly copy and paste, if that makes sense. Okay, the plot you can saw in the trailer, it's basically the first couple of minutes, there is an opening where they say that there is a place, a hidden forest in Ireland that you cannot find on any map or GPS. It only draws in lost souls or troubled souls. And after that, there is a scene where a guy is being chased in the woods, and he kind of goes one particular area, and he sees a sign. I can't remember what the sign says, no entry or something, 402. And he goes the opposite direction. And when he goes the opposite direction, 100 yards, he comes back to that same particular sign. So he's kind of being looped around. So that particular area is kind of on a loop, and it traps him in. And after that, basically takes the trip to Dakota Fanning, and she works at a pet shop, and she is tasked to deliver this bird from the pet shop to a different other shop that she has to travel. And we all know she has to travel to that, she has to go through that forest. She has car trouble. She breaks down. She finds herself when she's walking through the woods and turns back to her car. She can't find her car because she's in that particular area as that guy was. And she gets kind of a little bit concerned and confused, and she hears something coming after her, and she sees a old lady, tells her to hurry, come in, and she goes into that room that you saw in the movie trailer. And in the movie, in that room, there is a mirror, as you saw in the trailer, and these 3-4 individuals are in there with her. So basically, at that point, she's trying to figure out who they are, how long they've been here, how to get out, that kind of thing. And at that point in the movie, I'm still locked in. I am still interested in this movie or this story. And like I said, she done a good job holding my attention. She done a good job telling the story with different angles. There's one particular angle that I love. It was kind of the beginning of it. But how I look at a movie is, I love when people try to do something a little bit different. Something just a smidge. There was just one scene where Dakota Fanning she got out of the shower, and her back was, the camera's behind her, and she was getting stuff ready, and there was a mirror in front of her, right? So she kind of puts her head down, and the camera comes behind her, and then she raises up, and that's right in front of her. It's kind of like a mirror. So it was a stunt double right here, and then when the camera comes this way, she bends, and then Dakota Fanning comes up, so like you can see the mirror. It was well done. It was certain scenes like that, I'm like, wow, I like how she did that. That was very cool. Little things like that means a lot to me. Now, other people think why you like that. I just do. I love certain things like that. Keeps me, I like that. That's cool, because it makes, you want something a little bit different, a little taste, different perspective, different angles. I love it. But anywho, but back to the story. After Dakota Fanning went to that room, there's a lot of things. I'm not going to go into spoilers, because really there's a lot to unpack. And I'll be really honest with you. The ending of it really didn't land for me. I did not care much for it. Now, I'll say this. When it's released to rent or watch, I'm going to rewatch it to see if I see anything differently or picked up anything differently than the first time watching it. But I'll be very honest with you. My first reaction, I did not like it. The first part was really good. I would say the last 40 minutes just did not land for me at all. And I was going to release this on Friday evening or Saturday morning, and I had to sit on this for a little bit because I was just so disappointed at the ending of it. Now, it's not one of those M. Night Shyamalan endings that you kind of like, what the world? It wasn't like that. It's just the theming of the ending was just what? It was different. I'll say that. So, would I recommend you watching it? I would say if you like M. Night Shyamalan style of movies, it's not horror. It's not like too scary. It's more like curiosity or mystery kind of thing. But I wouldn't get your hopes too high and just watch it cold and just say, okay, what kind of story can she tell? If you're that way, I think it'd be all right. It's at least good to watch and support M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. A lot of people do not like M. Night Shyamalan. It appears to me, and there's probably a lot more fans out there, but on the interwebs or YouTube, people don't really care much for like his style. I love his style. He's probably my top 5 directors because there's not a lot of directors that I know when you hear the name, like, oh, if he's going to direct it and write it, I'm going to watch it. Don't matter. Even with this watch, even though I didn't like this movie, The Watchers, if she's going to make another movie, I'll watch it. Because I love her style. I love her dad's style. I love how they tell a story. Not every movie is going to be a banger. Not every movie is going to be great. But I like what they make, if that makes sense. I like how they make a story. It might not be the best. It might be the worst. But they still come up to the plate and try to hit another home run. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like. Because some people go, and I'll be honest with you, the last 8 takes of this video, I went kind of hard into the paint. And I'm kind of glad I did not post that. I decided to do it this way, to try to be more lighthearted but honest in my opinions about the movie. And again, this movie is not written by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. It was written by, she took inspiration from a book. And I don't know that book. I never read the book. I don't know if they're like bit by bit the same or so much different. You can't tell which one's which. I don't know. But the story, it kind of feels like Lady in the Water to a certain point. And if you watch Lady in the Water, you'll know the reference that I'm referring to without going into too much of a detail. This is a non-spoiler. I might told you too much if you don't want to know story at all. But yeah, I would say the last 40 minutes, the whole time, this is me. I'm like, what? that was my reaction the whole time. So with my grade of this movie, that's a tough one. I'm gonna be honest with you. My first reaction was a convenience store experience of food. But it's probably, it's a tough one. I think it would be middle of the road kind of experience. It's barely better than a convenience store, just barely. And the reason I say that, because of how it was shot. You know, some movies, if the plot's good, but the visions suck, I can at least get behind it. Or if it visually is good and the plot sucks, I can at least get something out of it. With this movie, I got a lot out of it, honestly. I was curious about, the whole point, I was curious on how kind of story that she's going to tell, right? And I was rewarded by that. I saw that. And I was intrigued, and I was surprisingly impressed, to be honest with you, and made me feel good for the future of her style of storytelling. But because of that, I kind of bumped it up to about middle road, kind of not a convenience store experience, but like kind of a drive-through experience. Just go through McDonald's, get fries and a milkshake, go on to something else. Nothing really to write home about, but it's not bad. Would I rewatch it? I might rewatch it to see if I see anything differently that I didn't see before. That's basically it. But yeah, this is more of a genuine reaction. I didn't go black pill as I would have on Friday evening after the movie, because I was really a lot of opinions, a lot of things. So sometimes when that happens, I try my best to kind of sit on it for a couple days and kind of give you an authentic, genuine, lighthearted review. And the reason for it is, I try. You can be honest and not really go too toxic with reviews. Try to be genuine and say, hey, I didn't like it. This is the reason. But all in all, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, went longer than I expected for this video. But hope you enjoyed this review, and I'm gonna try my best to at least do more reviews on this channel. My channel is kind of all over the place, and I'm trying to figure out what's best feel for what I do and what you like. I probably won't do much shorts. I'm just trying to test the waters to see what hits, what's not. But at the end of the day, I love movies. I always love movies, and I love TV shows, and I'll always try to find certain ones that interest me, and I'll do a review of it and give my take on it. But anywho, thank you for watching this long. I do appreciate each and everyone that's subbed to my channel, and I guess I'll catch y'all now. See y'all later. Bye.